Department of Defense officials are saying that approximately 1,500 soldiers from the 11th Airborne Division in Fort Wainwright in Alaska are prepared to deploy in case Donald Trump says that they are needed to quell violence in Minnesota. This comes the day after Tim Walz said that the Minnesota National Guard is prepared to deploy and will be working to help with traffic stops. They will be wearing reflective vests to differentiate them from other agencies, and this will be to help local police in the area continue to carry out their duties. They have not been deployed to the streets of the city as of yet. And just so you're aware, this does not mean that the United States military will deploy. This is something the Department of Defense has said they are preparing as an option. This is probably after Trump said that he was looking at invoking the Insurrection Act, bringing all of these troops and actually mobilizing them from Alaska to Minnesota to go into the streets of Minneapolis. That's a different level of things that we're talking about. And in order to do that, he would have to invoke the Insurrection Act. Now, if you've been following the court proceedings and the court rulings with the National Guard and now with ICE, judges have set the stage to deny him the ability to institute the Insurrection Act in this case. So they are setting him up to get a big L. And he can only roll this out once, where he says, I'm going to do the Insurrection Act, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. And then if he does it and the courts say no and shut him down because there's no reason to go in there and the conditions have not been set, then that is a massive L for him. It removes a tool of fear that he has used for years. So yeah, the conditions aren't there, and the judges have told him the conditions aren't there. So again, what he is hoping is for some level of obscene violence to happen, where he could possibly instigate or enact the Insurrection Act. But the problem is the ICE agents, for him, the problem is the ICE agents and the DHS agents, they're the ones who are causing the violence. So again, this is a fear tactic that he has tried to use in the past. All of this is something for people to wake up to and say, like, hey, I'm worried that the military is going to be deployed, but please be aware, if it goes to that level where he actually deploys the military into the streets of a U.S. city, the judges have laid the ground to shut him down again. And when they shut him down with the National Guard, he did not deploy them into the cities. So there is a red line there. And if he tries to cross it and gets shut down, that makes him look very, very weak. That is a tool that he likes to threaten. But in order to use it, he has to make sure it's going to happen, and he can't make sure that's going to happen. If some of the stuff behind the scenes that we talk about, especially with Venezuela, and if you remember the two individuals who were murdered under Bradley, Leland Jasock, there were also two individuals in October 17th who were rescued and sent back to their home countries under Braga. So there are military leaders inside of the country who are telling him no, and I'm not going to go that route. This is also following Greenland, where a number of military officers said, there's no way we're going to attack from a military fashion Greenland. And that there's been a lot of that pushback behind the scenes, and this is why he's going into tariffs now. So that's his tool that he's been able to use in the past, is threatening tariffs. So again, this is a threat of, I'm going to send in the military, I'm going to send in the military. He has not done it. He's not done it, but the threat is there. And once he tries to go for that threat is gone if the judges shut him down. And he knows that. He would rather have the threat to scare people than to actually do it and fail. That would be a huge loss for him. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, I hope that helps. Thanks.